Hyundai's aiming high with this 4th generation version of their stylish Tucson, a sharp-suited family mid-sized SUV aimed at the Qashqai class. We're told it'll change the way you drive. This slightly improved version of this design certainly intends to change this Korean brand's fortunes in this sector.
So let's brief you on the 4-cylinder 1.6-litre petrol turbo engines. Now, unlike its similarly engineered Hyundai Motor Group close cousin, that's the Kia Sportage, the Tucson does still offer a base unelectrified 160 PS unit. That's mainly because a few customers still want a manual gearbox. Otherwise, a dual clutch auto gearbox is mandatory, and that starts with the 48-volt mild hybrid version, which has a 7-speed automatic and the same power output as the base unit, so thus very much the same performance, 0 to 62 miles an hour in 9.8 seconds en route to 118 mph. It has the same 1510 kilogram brake towing capacity too, which falls quite a lot to either 1360 kilograms or 1210 kilograms with the fully electrified models. That is disappointing because you either have to have the hybrid or the PHEV to get the option of a 4x4 system, and that's something that might be really quite useful for towers with its extra terrain control switch for optimal off-piste driving. The front-driven 48-volt mild hybrid Tucson model accounts for most sales, but it's not particularly frugal, mainly because, as usual with MHEVs, its tiny battery isn't big enough to ever run the car independently on electric power. If you do want that kind of more frugal Tucson, which can achieve that, then your starting point is going to be the HEV variant that we're trying here. This fully hybrid model offers a self-charging petrol-electric engine working with a 6-speed automatic gearbox and mated to a 60 PS electric motor powered by a 1.49 kilowatt-hour battery. This provides sufficient extra urge to up the combined power output to 215 PS. Is it though worth stretching up to the plug-in hybrid powertrain? Well, that is debatable. This was the one power plant setup that we'd expected would have been improved as part of this facelift here, mainly because that is exactly what's happened with nearly all its direct rivals. But no, the PHEV Tucson still has the same relatively small by class standards 13.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack. This is why its projected EV range between charges, 38 miles, is getting on for half what you get from rivals like the Volkswagen Tiguan e-hybrid and even the MG HS PHEV. Whatever your choice of Tucson, you'll find body roll well controlled and refinement really quite impressive, and that'll be a boon on the kind of long journeys over which you'll appreciate the standard highway drive assist setup that all automatic Tucsons now have. It's easy to forget just what a bold design statement this 4th generation NX4 Series Tucson made at its original launch in 2020 with its so-called parametric dual-style nose section. Time takes the edge off that, of course, but this mid-sized Korean SUV is still a good-looking thing, with a few minor nips and tucks visually in this updated form. The main update to this model's parametric dynamics design language lies at the front. The grille still has its hidden corner headlamps and distinctive embedded parametric dual daytime running lights, but it now also features thinner and more angular lines, and the front bumper and skid plates are also new. More artful design features at the rear, where the skid plate is now integrated into the bumper moulding and enlarged horizontally. Will we see more subtle evolution inside? Let's take a look. Well, yes, in fact, the model update changes are a lot more noticeable behind the wheel, mainly because of the screen tech. Before, the twin 10.25-inch displays were separated. Now they're larger, both 12.3 inches in size, and sit joined in one large panel in front of you, stretching from the door to the further edge of the now redesigned center stack here. Hyundai's also redesigned this distinctive 2-tier lower center console with its upper and lower sections. As for quality, well, you still wouldn't think you were sitting in a BMW or an Audi, but perceived plushness has taken another step forward. What else might you need to know here? Well, the front seats are broad and they're comfortable too, and you sit, well, a touch higher than you probably would do in a conventional mid-sized model, although this isn't the kind of SUV that you'll want if a particularly commanding driving position is something that you really prefer. Nothing's very different further back, of course. Time to take a look in the rear. As before, there are no spatial compromises to make if you shift from a conventional engine to the full hybrid or the plug-in hybrid powertrains, although the need for their incorporation probably explains why the seat base here doesn't slide. You have to be content instead with backrest adjustment. Legroom, that meets the class standard, and a couple of 6-footers really would fit in quite comfortably, even with the front seats slid reasonably far back. We'll finish with a look in the boot, which, unless you've stuck with base trim, is smart activated and power operated. The space that you'll get within varies quite a lot depending on your chosen 1.6 litre petrol powertrain. The rarely chosen base unelectrified model offers 620 litres of space, very similar to the 616 litre figure we have in this full hybrid version. But with the 48 volt mild hybrid model, that figure falls to 577 litres. If you didn't want a Tucson previously, there's not much more reason to choose one now, but if you do like the way it looks, this update could tip you Hyundai's way, secure in the knowledge that all kinds of serious family expeditions, be they to the shopping mall, the in-laws, or to Inverness, will be well within this car's remit. Expect it to continue to establish Hyundai in this segment.